I promise you, once you see what I'm about to show you, you will never look at an airport the same way again. Seriously, put away your boarding pass, because the flight we are taking today is descending far, far below the tarmac into one of the most heavily debated, hotly contested, and absolutely terrifying secrets hiding right beneath our feet. We're talking about the Denver International Airport, or DIA, and the whispers of a colossal hidden city built for the end of the world. Are we just paranoid, or are the disturbing details laid out in stone, concrete, and terrifying public art actually telling us something crucial about the future of humanity? Get comfortable, everyone, because the things they have hidden under the airport are far more sinister than delayed baggage. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to dive into this topic, even though it genuinely gives me the chills. For those of you who have traveled through DIA, you know it's weird. It's too big, the architecture is strange, and frankly, the vibe is just off. But the superficial weirdness, the giant blue Mustang statue named Blucifer that literally killed its own creator, that's just the distraction, the shiny object meant to keep us from noticing the real secrets lurking beneath the main terminal. We have to address the superficial oddities first, because they are crucial clues left for those willing to look past the velvet ropes of polite society. Let's start with Blucifer. Think about it. A demonic-looking massive blue horse with glowing red eyes right at the entrance. It looks like something ripped straight out of a nightmare, and it's there to greet millions of visitors annually. Why? Why would a major hub of international commerce choose that specific piece of terrifying symbolism? Art is subjective, sure, but this feels intentionally unsettling. It's almost a ceremonial guardian, warning us that the energy of this place is darker than a standard airport should be. This isn't coincidence, friends. This is psychological programming, right before we check our bags. But Blucifer is just the tip of the terrifying iceberg, believe me. Once you get inside the main terminal, you are confronted with the infamous murals. And when I say infamous, I mean truly horrifying. Imagine walking through an airport and seeing massive artwork depicting global destruction, gas-masked soldiers with machine guns, dead children, and what looks suspiciously like some sort of ethnic cleansing or mass genocide. I mean, what kind of vibe are they trying to set here? Welcome to Denver. Please enjoy the apocalyptic prophecies. The official explanations for these murals are always incredibly vague, usually something about peace, unity, and environmental stewardship. But anyone with two working eyes can see the sinister undertones. One of the most famous segments shows a soldier in a gas mask looking down upon a pile of rubble and what appear to be deceased figures. If this art is supposed to inspire hope, why the emphasis on biological warfare and utter devastation? Many interpret these panels as a chilling premonition, or worse, a set of instructions or a timeline for a future global event. Now, let's pivot to the cornerstone. This detail is so specific and so disturbing that it becomes impossible to ignore. Embedded right into the airport structure is a plaque detailing the establishment of DIA by the New World Airport Commission. Wait, the New World Airport Commission? That's not a standard governmental entity. That phrasing immediately lights up every single conspiracy radar, because the term New World Order is deeply intertwined with the very idea of a secret elite cabal preparing for global governance. This isn't hidden jargon. It's practically shouting the agenda. The plaque also contains a specific Masonic symbol, the square and compass, and a dedication date box that is currently empty. Why would they leave the date box empty? The running theory, and this is where it gets spicy, is that the date will only be filled in when the New World Order's ultimate agenda for this facility is finally realized. It's a chilling monument to a global plan that is supposedly already in motion, completely hidden in plain sight, mocking us with its brazenness every time we fly out. And what about the overall construction? The architecture itself is bizarre. The peaked white tents are supposedly meant to evoke the Rocky Mountains, but they also look disturbingly like something out of a futuristic survival movie. Then there are the gargoyles. Yes, gargoyles. They are placed strategically in the baggage claim areas, peering down from the rafters. Gargoyles are traditionally used to ward off evil, but they also guard secrets. Are they protecting the bags? Or are they guarding the entrances to something far more important below? Think about the construction timeline and the cost overruns. DIA cost billions more than budgeted, and construction took years longer than promised. The official excuse was unforeseen complexity and issues with the computerized baggage system. But get this, the baggage system, the supposed culprit for all the delays and costs, was ultimately declared a failure and never fully implemented. So where did all that time and money actually go? This is where the underground rumors start to gain real traction, friends. If you spend billions extra and the main system you blame for the delay never even works, it suggests the massive budget was actually diverted to another project, a secret project. The whispers suggest that the entire airport complex is merely a superficial cover story, a large-scale distraction, built above something exponentially larger, deeper, and far more critical to the world's elite survival plan. It is alleged that the airport sits atop the biggest D.U.M.B, deep underground military base, in North America. This is the big conspiracy. Beneath the 6 levels of supposed basements and utilities, the facility extends down perhaps 8 or 10 more levels, creating an immense bunker complex capable of housing thousands of people for years. Imagine a massive subterranean metropolis. We are talking about miles and miles of tunnels, high-speed rail links that connect to secret military installations across Colorado, and enough space to store supplies for a population waiting out a catastrophic event. This is not just a storage unit, this is a permanent solution. So what is the alleged purpose of this gargantuan subterranean city? The theories range from the plausible to the absolutely insane. The most common belief is that it serves as a continuity of government facility, a safe haven for top government officials, world leaders, and the global elite in case of nuclear war, pandemic, asteroid strike, or, yes, a forced societal reset like the New World Order transition many fear. It's the ultimate doomsday ARK, funded by taxpayers, but not intended for us. It's often referred to in conspiracy circles as the North American FEMA camp headquarters, designed not just for shelter, but potentially for control and population management during a major crisis. The sheer size suggests it could process or house a staggering number of people, which raises terrifying questions about the intentions of those who secretly constructed it. Are they preparing to save themselves? Or are they preparing to rule a reduced population from underground? And remember that failed baggage system? It's genius camouflage. What better way to secretly move construction materials, massive boring equipment, and debris from subterranean excavation than to use an automated tunnel system already justified by airport logistics? These supposedly abandoned tunnels of the high-speed luggage system are, according to researchers, actually the primary service routes for the deep bunker complex. It's a logistical perfect storm, concealing one massive project inside another. Think about the reports from former workers. Many contractors involved in the initial construction signed incredibly strict non-disclosure agreements, and some have reported seeing strange, unused train tunnels running far deeper than anything needed for baggage or passenger shuttles. They talk about vast sealed areas, large enough to drive semi-trucks through, and facilities that seemed equipped for long-term habitation, rather than standard airport maintenance. These aren't just one-off stories. They are consistent accounts that point to a disturbing truth. We're talking about an area allegedly larger than the entire operational footprint of the surface airport. Imagine the sheer volume of concrete, steel, and machinery required to build something of that scale deep beneath the earth. The amount of secrecy required to pull off an infrastructure project of that magnitude right under the noses of the public is almost unbelievable, unless you realize that the public was supposed to be looking at the giant blue horse instead. Let's look at the location. Denver is high altitude, centrally located, and geologically stable, making it an ideal choice for a deeply buried, long-term survival bunker. It's close enough to vital military command centers, but far enough inland to avoid coastal threats. This wasn't a random spot. The location was strategic, chosen for its safety and its ability to withstand significant surface threats. Every detail screams preparation, not convenience. I spent time looking into the specific gate numbers that people claim lead to hidden access points. While official sources deny any special significance, the repeated mention of certain restricted zones, especially in the far reaches of the terminal, feeds the fire. Why are certain maintenance corridors perpetually locked down, guarded by specialized security that looks more like paramilitary personnel than airport staff? It's enough to make you question every standard door you walk past. Connecting all these dots, the demonic mascot, the apocalyptic murals, the New World Order cornerstone, the immense cost overruns, and the testimony of construction workers, it creates a narrative that is difficult to dismiss as mere coincidence. It starts to feel less like a theory and more like investigative reporting into the elite's escape plan. The airport is their front door, disguised as a public utility, while the real action takes place miles beneath the check-in desk. And then you get the really wild theories, the ones that make you raise an eyebrow but you can't completely discard in the context of the others. We're talking about rumors of alien bases, subterranean transit systems for non-human entities, and yes, the infamous lizard people, who allegedly utilize this massive facility as a staging ground for their operations. While those theories are often mocked, they exist because the official narrative leaves such a massive void of explanation. The true heart of this mystery is the psychological impact. Why are we so fascinated by the idea of a hidden bunker beneath an airport? Because it confirms our deepest fears, that the people in charge know something terrible is coming, and they have already secured their place in the lifeboat, while the rest of us are left navigating the chaos on the surface. That feeling of betrayal is powerful, and DIA exploits it perfectly with its unsettling atmosphere. Let's talk scale again. Some estimates suggest the underground complex could be up to 10 square miles, extending far beyond the actual airport property line. 10 square miles. That's a city. A city with its own independent power supply, air filtration, and hydroponic food production capability. This isn't just a storm cellar. This is a permanent solution for the continuity of the human species, or at least the human species deemed worthy of survival by the global elite. The fact that the government and airport authorities issue such swift, sometimes mocking, denials only fuels the fire. When pressed about the strange symbols, they resort to vague artistic explanations, but they never offer a transparent, line-by-line accounting of the missing billions or the fully excavated, unused tunnels. Transparency is the antidote to conspiracy, and their consistent lack of it is the strongest evidence that they have something massive to hide. It forces us to ask, what catastrophe are they preparing for that requires an underground structure of this magnitude? Is it climate collapse? A geopolitical conflict far worse than anything we can imagine? Or is it simply the strategic advantage of having a secure, impenetrable global command center right in the middle of a major populace, hidden behind the mundane routine of international travel? The implications are deeply chilling everyone. Every time a major global event happens, a financial crisis, a new conflict, or a serious pandemic, the conversations about the DIA bunker flare up again, because people start to realize how fragile our current systems are. The existence of that bunker offers a terrifying glimpse into the contingency planning of the powerful, a plan that explicitly excludes the vast majority of us who buy tickets on the flights leaving from the surface. Now, I want you to remember everything we've talked about: the horrifying art, the secretive commission, the massive money pit, and the endless maze of unused infrastructure. It all paints a picture of intense preparation, a readiness for a time when the surface world might no longer be habitable or governable. They invested too much, built too large, and concealed too effectively for this just to be a regular terminal. But here is the final, most shocking thought, and this is the one that kept me up while preparing this video. We all focus on the nuclear war scenario, the plague scenario, the classic doomsday events, right? We assume they built the bunker to survive the inevitable collapse. What if the truth is darker? What if they didn't build it to survive the disaster, but rather they built it before the disaster, and the signs, the murals, the symbols, are not warnings of what is coming, but rather a celebration of the chaos they are about to unleash? Imagine this: the elite already secure underground, watching the surface destabilize. And those murals weren't predictions of the future, but rather a detailed instruction manual or a final art installation celebrating the controlled demolition of the old world order. The New World Airport Commission wasn't planning for a crisis. They were simply planning for their grand subterranean takeover. The ultimate irony? We pay their fare with our taxes, walk over the graves of their secrets, and then complain about the price of airport coffee. So, friends, I hope this has given you something truly terrifying to think about the next time you have a layover in Denver. The world below the airport tarmac is far more interesting and far more dangerous than the one above it. If you found this journey down the rabbit hole fascinating, you know the drill. Hit that like button so this video gets seen by more people who deserve to know the truth. Tell me in the comments below, which piece of DIA evidence is the most damning for you? Subscribe if you want to keep diving into these deep secrets with me, and definitely share this with someone who travels a lot. Until next time, stay safe and try not to step on the secret entrance.